Scala for the Impatient, Chapter 1, Exercises.
The Midnight Coder.
In this video, we're going to read the benefits of the setup we did in the last video. The focus will be to use the REPL for answering the exercises at the end of Chapter 1 of Scala for the Impatient. Unless we encounter new issues, the only setup we're going to be doing is to adjust some font settings in the IDE. We're going to start the command line REPL, Scala, and type the expression 3. That will tell us something about the REPL and about the Scala language. First off, it automatically assigns the evaluation of the expression to a immutable value, a val in Scala, with the name res0. Not surprising, if I now do another constant, I'm going to end up with res1. And if I do res0 plus res1, I'll get res2. If I want a mutable value or a variable, I have to explicitly declare it. There's no automatic for it. So I'm going to say x equals 4. And we don't use vars as often in functional programming as vals because we like to just accumulate our results in a functional stream of operations. So the advantage of a var is that you can reassign it, which is important in procedural language. For a val, you cannot reassign it. So if I go res2 equals 66, boom, an error. Now, the second thing to notice is that these expressions have a type of int, which is a class. And in Scala, there is no value types like in Java. So we can actually do the following. I'm going to say 3 and type a dot and do autocomplete. Wow, look at all those functions. Notice we have all our operations, absolute values, is nans, boolean, to short, to int, 2 degrees, is valid long. So what we can do is use it like a function with this syntax, but also for our binary methods, 2-argument methods, we can just do the following: skip the dot and then skip the parens. So that covers a couple of questions in the end of Chapter 1 of Scala for the Impatient. So we're going to switch to IntelliJ and go to our questions. And the first question is, in Scala type 3 followed by the tab key, what methods apply? Well, let's first off, I want to change the font on my console here. We'll give us a little bit more room since we're going to be focusing in the REPL. Let's go to Settings, Editor. Let's see, would it be, let's search font. Or actually, let's just do console. This is console. I want to change the font in. Console, the console font, and use JetBrains mono, and then we're going to increase that, say 16, 18. I have some large monitors and the font gets pretty small. So, ooh, okay. I misspoke earlier. when I type 3 dot plus brackets form, you are not using a binary function. It's the unary function, one argument function on int. So we call on the 3 the function plus and pass it a 4, which is the same as the binary operation plus. A subtle difference. Now, in the IntelliJ REPL, I can't do a 3 dot and it autocomplete for me. So instead, I can assign 3 to a automatic variable and do res2 dot, and it'll show me all the functions that are implemented on int. So now I'm going to say res2 dot plus int. And now we have res3, which is value 7. You can go, the first question is, what are the methods that can be applied to the 3? And so it's easier to grab them from here. 3 dot. And I'm just going to copy them all. Let's see, hopefully my copy paste are set up. And can I do it? Yay! Oh, and it's sweet. Sweet. It gave me all the expressions. Okay. The stars, I mean. And make them stand out a little bit more. And then we'll add the note. Well, that's my co-pilot trying to give me a nice comment, which is almost what I wanted. It assumed that it was the double class, but no, it's actually the int class that I wanted in the comment. So number 2. In the Scala REPL, compute the square root of 3. Now, if I try the autocomplete on res0 and type SQ for square root, there's nothing. That's because res0 is an int and square root is implemented on the math object. Which reminds me, when I was doing the autocomplete here earlier on this guy, I didn't mention that I hit the tab key. So you can see there's no square root. The advantage over here is that if I go SQRT and then res0 or 3, our friendly IDE is going to allow us to automatically import math. Woohoo! Yay. Love it. So we'll go like that. And we now have res4, which is a double. So let's actually copy this code as our answer, part of our answer to 2. And we'll copy, oh, and Copilot's giving me what I want for the rest of the answer. Let's see, then the square root of the value, does the result differ in from the square root of 3, then this, and then the square of that. So we're going to take the square of res 4. So we're going to take power. How is it? Res 4, comma 2. And yeah. Oh, there's a difference. Okay. So I'm going to say, let's see how smart my Copilot is for this. Yes. I don't know if it's using this or just evaluates this on the fly. Copilot is now giving me a new level of fun. Oh, look at that. I don't even have to type the expression. It's already deciding exactly what I want, which is to do the diff between 3. So we can go 3 minus, and then we can do power of the square root of 3 slash 2 dash, comma 2. And what's it complaining about here? Square root of 3 minus, so, oh, do I have to re-import things? Let's go import, got caps on. Import Scala dot math dot underscore. And then shift enter. Oh. Okay. There's the use for a semicolon and Scala. Wow. So now it's not remember. Oh, there we go. Now let's just copy that. All right, small amount. Let's see. This we've already covered, which is our res variables val or var. They are val. Okay, next, let's see. String multiplied by 3. Okay. So crazy, crazy, crazy. And what it says, we're actually multiplying the string, repeating it 3 times. Now the hard part, finding it in the Scala document. Just, I love my Copilot. Now, ooh, it even helps because then I can, yes, there's a lot of people out there that have made that statement before. String operations is the base class that implements the multiply. So let's go Scala docs string ops. And this would be it. This actually be a fair amount of time to find this, searching from string and then finding where it's implemented. So we're going to say that def of multiply is and takes an integer and it just basically concatenates the string that many times. Maybe we'll need this documentation again later. 1 and 3. So our Copilot has answered the question. Again, what does max mean? Well, let's type it out here just so we've done it. We do 10 dot 10 max 2, and that gives us the max between those two values. And if we do max dot, 10 dot, I am betting, all right, we want res 8 dot, and is there a max here? Max is defined, and in this case it's an int, because that's, so max is defined on the type int, and then we're going to say 2. Although we could say 2.0 just to be fun and show that there's all, oh, mismatch. Interesting. Okay. All right, I ran into a little bit of trouble there. What happens is I can do res 10 and find my 2 double, and it doesn't take any parameters. Now in my IDE, I get the option of putting parens around a 0 argument function, but in Scala you can also type it without the parens, and the REPL doesn't seem to like the parens. So if I do 2 double, the 10 is transformed into a 10.0, and I can do max with 2.0, and the answer will become 10.0. So that our answer for, let's see, where was that? Max and meeting. So we can say Copilot's very nice in providing me an explanation. Oh, wow. So it's on the rich int class as opposed to the int class. Very good. So let's go to the Scala docs. Look up int max. That brings us to Scala int, which is the object int. And we want the class int to look at the methods. We're going to talk about that at some point. A common usage in Scala is to have an object paired with a class of the same name, and they're called companion classes and companion objects. So let's go to the companion class for int, and you'll notice that all of these abstract methods. So I'm going to believe that the implementation can be in rich int, and that our friend IntelliJ is correct, that it's defined in the rich int class. So now let's move to the next thing, which is question, take big int and compute 2 to the 10 to the 24. So we're going to say big int, take int as a in the constructor. We're going to do pow and then 124. And it's super long response. Let's see what our Copilot does. Okay, that's not what I want. And then we're just going to say, there's a lot of digits there. Yeah. I'm going to break this up between lines. Sure, the person reading this will realize that this is all one number. So now, what do we need to import so that you can get a random prime as prob prime 100.random without using any qualifiers between probable prime? And you know what? There's an advantage of using IntelliJ. So I can go boom. Let's see. What do we want? We want for random import class and Scala util random, and then probable prime. We want import big int. And now I can execute. All right. Well, it looks a little messy, but it's just the printout. It's just repeating the imports and then it's giving me the best answer. So kind of cheated there, didn't I? Probable prime and random are defined in Scala math, big int, class, respectively. Okay, we're going to say probable prime is a method. Yeah. Prime returns a random number of a random prime number of a specified bit length. Okay. Does it actually return a prime or a probable prime? So let's go back to here and prime Scala docs. Constructs a randomly generated positive big int that is probably prime. Okay. Probable prime. You'll always have to check the answers Copilot gives you. It does a statistical analysis of what probably you want to write afterwards. It's not really judging the validity or truth of what it's saying. So now I'm going to need the imports again for this next question. Let's see. One way to create a random file or directory name is to produce a random big int and convert it to base 36, yielding a string such as blah. Poke around in the Scala docs to find a way of doing this in Scala. Am I cheating again? Let's go back here. So this gives us the imports we need to do the probable prime number. And then how do we convert it to a string? This was just toString. And then, oh, look, it's pretty easy. It says there's a radix, or the base that you want to convert this to. And I'm going to say 36. And then enter. Wow. Okay. So let's just copy this to our answer. We're getting there. Question 9. Copilot want to say anything? The toString make method of bigint class can be used to convert a bigint to a string in the specified base. Whoa, pretty good comment. All right, so now first character in a string in Scala and the last character in a string. Well, let's start by creating a string. What we're going to do is we'll put in a string. Let's do the midnight coder. I'm going to do dot, and then I'm going to write head, and that will give me the T. I will do the last, give me the R. And so we're going to do I don't, that's definitely not right. I can definitely use that method, but Carat is very anti-Scala in design. That's a Java thing. Let's do first and last, let's say head. All right. Now, question 10. This is an interesting one. Let's take the midnight coder. Well, might be able to do this all in take 3. Okay, we don't need the extra comment. Well, it's kind of shows that then the midnight coder drop 4. Okay, midnight coder take right 5 and drop 6. So you can see how it's working. Well, why use this over substring? I'm going to give 2 reasons. The first is use extract function. String functions are used to extract substrings from the string. Well, that's the take, comma, drop, comma, take right functions are more intuitive than substring. That's one reason. They also are more polymorphic. They can be used with other collections. This brings us to the end of our first set of exercises. And I really would like to keep pushing and make a lot more videos, but I need to take a couple of days off. And when I come back, depending on my needs, I may continue with the Scala for a while, or go back to the Java for a while, or start up a line on Python development. So in the meantime, enjoy your coding, enjoy your midnight coding, And if you found this video useful, please like and subscribe.